Welcome, welcome back to Skilling It. We're doing redefining chronic illness. This time, flexibility without breaking. So, if you have an ongoing chronic illness, I'm sorry, but stay here. If you're a caretaker, stay here. If you're curious about flexibility, you're in the right place. I invite you to grab your favorite beverage or snack, get comfy, whatever that means to you, or if you happen to be walking or driving, keep on moving. Stay here, take a breath, settle in, and let this be a moment where you don't have to push, just receive. Did you know that psychological flexibility is associated with higher life satisfaction, improved health, better career outcomes? You guys, this is from an article called Psychological Flexibility, What It Means and Why It's Important. This is by Kendra Cherry, and it's in Very Well Mind. I will put the link in the show notes. Some really good stuff here. Research shows that flexible people experience more happiness, reduced stress, improved resilience, better adaptability in crisis. Boy, that's when it counts, isn't it? Higher, more stable well-being. Oh, that's so good. That is something to strive for. Some key elements of flexibility include being present, so important. Openness, right? What's going to happen? Let's see what the options are. And acceptance. Sometimes, that can be the hard part. Examples of flexibility include accepting difficult emotions instead of running from them, dealing with change or setbacks, which, if you have a chronic illness, you are dealing with, managing intense emotions, and finding fulfillment. How does that fit in? Here's a quote. The boldness of asking deep questions may require unforeseen flexibility if we are to accept the answers. And that is Brian Greene. And I have a Bible verse, one of my absolutely very favorite Bible verses, Romans 12:2. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. How many words was that? Not a lot, but so life-changing. So if you have a chronic illness or live with someone who has a chronic illness or take care of someone who does, chronic illness changes the way you plan, think, adapt, and even change. You can make a plan, even a simple one, something you should be able to do, but then your body says no. In that moment, you are faced with a choice. You can push through and pay for it later, or pivot and wrestle with guilt, frustration, and even shame. Isn't that so interesting? I teach undergrad sociologies. I teach undergrad sociology on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. And recently I woke up on a school day and I felt awful. So that was a reckoning moment for me. I'm asking myself, can I push through this and teach? Should I push through this and teach? So for so many of us, flexibility doesn't come naturally. We're taught consistency equals success, and there's some truth there. Push harder, stick to the plan, don't quit. That was such a big thing when I was growing up. Don't be a quitter. I personally wrestled with my choices. In 7 years, I've canceled one other class. Actually, guys, probably in 10 years. But on this day, you might know how this feels. It hurt to think and move, and that cinched it for me. So I crawled out of bed and sent out messages and notifications to my students and admin and went back to bed. So this was a time that flexibility was not a weakness, but self-care. It wasn't failure, it was wisdom. So from a neuroscience perspective, the brain craves predictability. I've talked about this before. It's constantly trying to create patterns so to conserve energy and keep us safe. So when the plans change unexpectedly, it can actually register as a threat to us. This is why flexibility feels uncomfortable at first. But here is the good news. One word: neuroplasticity. Your brain's ability to rewire itself. That means you can train flexibility. Remember that verse, renewing of the mind? Exactly what that means. When you practice being flexible instead of resisting, you strengthen those neural pathways associated with resilience, emotional regulation, problem solving. Flexibility is not something you either have or don't have. It's something you build. Now that's interesting. So let's get a vision. Imagine a version of you, me, who adjusted plans without spiraling into guilt. By the way, my students survived and they reported that they all got the message. None of them showed up to class that day. The wonders of technology. Let's go back to imagining. Imagine a version of you that also trusts your body instead of fighting it. That moves through setbacks with compassion instead of criticism. Imagine waking up and asking, what is possible today? Instead of, what should I force myself to do today? That's what flexibility offers us. Freedom within the limitations. So what's in it for me? When we embrace flexibility, we reduce flare-ups caused by overexertion. We conserve energy for what truly matters. We improve our emotional well-being. Remember that well-being? We want more of that. We strengthen trust with our own bodies and with the people around us. Flexibility doesn't take things away from you. It gives your life back in a different form. Remember, our brain doesn't like differences. We can do this. So I have 2 reflection questions. 1, what unproductive mindset am I holding on to too tightly? Are there some coulds, some shoulds, some have-tos? 2, what would change if I trusted my body as a guide instead of seeing it as a nuisance or the enemy? So 3 practical steps. First of all, build a flexible mindset. This is such a great starting point. And again, go back to our Bible verse, renewing of the mind. Flexible mindset means replacing rigid thinking with adaptive thinking. Here's my rigid thought. I didn't complete my plan today, so I failed. Here's a flexible thought. I adjusted to what my body needed today, and that is success. So start catching all or nothing thinking patterns. You guys, this isn't just for chronic illness. This is for everybody. Honestly, some of those look like always, never, should, have to, all of the things. So start catching them and challenge them. We often believe we have little or no control, but often we have more control. We have more options than we think we do. On that sick day I mentioned above, I did have control and I took control. Another example recently, we had a gathering at our house, which was super fun. And about 3 hours in, I noticed I felt really tired. When we're the host, we might feel obligated to keep moving, cleaning, hosting. But this one time, I listened to my body, I challenged my previous mindset, I took control, and I sat down and I stayed down. And guess what? Like my students, family, and friends figured out what they needed and got what they needed on their own. By then, everybody had pretty much eaten anyways. And I didn't overexhaust myself. It was a different decision for me. I'm telling you from the heart. Both of the decisions were hard, but they taught me great lessons. They taught me to listen to my body, to challenge my old mindsets. Do they even still apply anymore? To take control of what you can and to believe in others. Okay, so try this. This is a reframe. Instead of I have to get everything done, say something like I will do what I can with the energy I have. Flexibility begins in your thoughts before it shows up in your actions. So number 1 was, let me go back, build a flexible mindset. I love that. Number 2, listen to your body before it shuts down on you. Our bodies are always communicating. The problem is we often wait until it's screaming. So practice your daily check-ins. How is my energy level right now? What sensations am I noticing? Do I need to slow down, rest, or modify? These are really good check-in questions. Think of your body like a fuel gauge, not a machine you override. Respond early, not late. Because when you listen, you prevent crashes. You reduce inflammation. Oh my goodness, let's talk inflammation. You build trust with yourself. Look, listening is not giving up. It is partnering with your body. So, number 2 was listen to your body before it shuts down. Number 3, use affirmations that encourage flexibility. This is our self-talk, you guys. Affirmations help retrain your brain and calm your nervous system. But they must feel believable and supportive, not forced. So here's some flexibility-focused affirmations. I am allowed to change my plans. Wow, that's a good one. Flexibility is a strength, not a failure. I trust my body to guide me. Doing less today does not mean I am less. That might be a really big one for some of us. Flexibility creates space for healing. And my new one, I will control what I can and let go of the rest. When plans shift unexpectedly, try this. Pause, breathe, and repeat one affirmation slowly. Will control what I can and let go of the rest. Letting go is a big deal. Let that sink in before you react in any kind of way. This is how we redefine chronic illness. One day, one mindset, one decision at a time. So here's your integration. Flexibility isn't about lowering your standards. It's about adjusting your approach. I love that. Some days flexibility looks like doing less. Some days it looks like doing things differently. And some days may need a complete restructuring. It all counts. So join me in a closing prayer. Lord, show us where we can be more flexible while living life with a chronic illness. Give us the grace, patience, and self-compassion to listen to our bodies. Help us be a light for those who need it. And we'll give you all the praise in Jesus' name. Final reflection. What is one small way you can practice flexibility today? Such a good. Thank you for being here today. If this episode resonated with you, take a minute to reflect on it or share it with someone who might need it. I would love it. I would be honored if you would hit the like or subscribe button. Until next time, keep redefining what's possible.